Magpie?
They're rooks.
Oh, we have.
What's up,
Finally, by
guys?
far the largest passerine with a similar wingspan to a buzzard. The bill is strikingly long and very heavy.
They're big. The raven?
The raven is correct.
Yo, what's up, guys? Starting the market today, seeing what we can find. I haven't been happy with my trading recently. I feel like I could be improving my education. I feel like I need to be educating myself a little bit more. So yeah, I haven't been happy with my trading recently. I definitely need to go through all my videos again and basically see what's wrong, what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, all that kind of stuff. Let's look at Forex Factory. Nothing here today, so we don't have to worry about anything so far. Let's go to Investing.com. Dollar hits new 9.5-month high as FX traders seek safety. Nordea targets 1.12 in Euro USD by mid 2022. Dollar retains positive tone on COVID fears, Fed tapering. Hold on a second.
Panama Canal.
Yes. And finally, history shall record that it was under your presidency that this crime against society was committed. Who wrote those words in an open letter to Fogeley in 1898?
It might be the Dreyfus Press.
But yeah, it remains positive. So the dollar's been up recently. That's why I know. Let's go on to Euro USD, the biggest pair in the forex market. So obviously we can see there's this 1.6 area that. Okay, the thing is, the 1.6 area that the price is trying to reach, and then there's a 1.7 area that price already reached and broke through. So I'm gonna mark that, make that the most recent resistance point. As you can see, it broke through but hasn't closed through. Then I'll put one here at 1.6. So that will be our support zone.
Cyrano de Bergerac, which royal figure gives his name to a tadpole-shaped glass bead made by dropping Darren Banbury, Prince Rupert.
Sorry about the background noise in the back. Let's check this out. So 1.7, you can see it stopped there and it's kind of broken through. It touched there a few times, broke through, came up, broke through. So this 1.6 is a very important area. So I think most likely within the next few months we could see Euro USD touch 1.6. But yeah, let's make this a bit thin. It's a bit thick. Put there.
Bronze?
It is bronze, yes.
Cool.
This piano concerto in F minor, opus 34. Secondly, a British composer.
Yeah, that's right. See that. Daily. Let's go daily. Zoom out a little bit. Just see which areas that I can see. So it's the same areas that I saw from before. Zoom here a little bit.
Vaughan Williams.
That's Elgar. Finally, this Central European composer.
Cool. Okay. I want to go to this area, this region right here, and just kind of just see like what areas it was touching within that region. So go to the 4 hour. So obviously 1.65, which is the mid-level. So I'll put array.
Swing.
Touch that area.
right, your bonuses this time are on DNA stains. Among the more commonly used DNA stains, the fluorescent dyes Hertz and Daffy.
Cool, it touched this area, broke through, came, touched, went up.
Light of what primary colour?
Green's not primary. Oh, it's primary colour of light, isn't it? Is it very primary colours of you have red, we don't have red.
Here, what's this area that it reached there?
I think we said green first. We said green because you said
Seemed to have reached an area here.
green.
So at one point,
We didn't talk about.
was that more of a fake out or what? Not entirely too sure. I want to keep this stream as short as possible. But anyway, as we can see, it touched that area.
Green.
Correct. The red DNA stain safranin is the traditional counter stain used in what technique named after a Danish biologist?
Brown stain. Because you have the red.
600, corrected of 600,
Is it gram staining?
reacted of 402. Okay, cool. So let's just go back.
Ward Hill, about 5 miles southwest of Stromness, is the highest point of which island group? Its summit gives views of the Pentland Firth and Scupper Flow.
Strathclyde Whittle.
I mean, there is a strong possibility that because this hasn't closed on the weekly, the candle hasn't properly closed, that it could pull back up a little bit.
In which city does an officer once called the Wake Man? Sound a horn.
As you can see, there's some consolidation happening. Yeah, some consolidation happening 100%.
Maybe somewhere in Melbourne.
So maybe I could put like a little box here.
Could have been like Berwick or something. Where? Like Berwick-on-Tweed. Could be there, yeah. Berwick-on-Tweed.
No, it's Ripon, the Ripon Hornblower. Inscribed on Ripon's Georgian town hall, the adapted quotation, "Except ye, Lord, keep
So
ye
this
city,
is
ye
between-
wake man waketh in vain," is taken from which book of the Old Testament?
So Leviticus. Maybe China.
700.
Goes from the book of Psalms. And finally, the tradition of the Wake Man dates to 886, when Ripon was granted its royal charter.
So that's consolidating right there, which is good. So I've got something here I can watch. Doesn't need to be too long. So it's consolidating.
Athelstan?
That was Alfred the Great. Right, 10 points for this.
It looks like it's ready to shoot down below, but I should be wary of any fake outs, stuff like that.
He shares a name with the mythical king of Sparta, whose wife Helen was abducted, leading to the Trojan War.
Durham Bembry.
Menelaus.
Menelaus is correct.
This chart's it's kind of annoying me a little bit. Because I want to get rid of these. Yeah, there we go. Get rid of the silly indicators.
Peregrine Pickle are the title characters of novels by
It's
which
for events. I don't really need events, do I?
in 1721.
Yeah, no, I never usually have events. Cool.
Walter Scott?
No, it's Tobias Smollett. Secondly, first published in 1877, which novel bore the
Okay,
subtitle
let's get this as
translated
well.
from the original Equine?
Get that mid-level going on.
Yeah, because that's Torben, isn't it?
December, yep.
That's correct. And finally, Vincent
525 and 475.
novel, published from 1838.
And how much would that be? How many pips would that be if I was to take that trade? That would be a good 20 pips. If I can get maybe 10 pips out of that, I'll be happy with that. 10 pips is good.
You're going to see a painting. For 10 points, name the artist.
I just have to watch price within this box range, basically. So that's the plan.
It is Cézanne,
There's not
yes.
much more to it, to be honest.
You must answer those as soon as you pass. Your picture bonuses are 3 more paintings on the same
I definitely need to go through these,
case.
trades and kind of like see how my thought process is. just try to understand where I'm going wrong, where I'm going right. Okay, Euro USD came up, touched it, came below. Looks like it wants to break below. I need to watch the candles. I need to study these candles properly.
Bogarth.
That's Jan Steen gamblers quarrelling. And finally,
Okay, see some movement a little bit as well.
Right, 10 points for this. In 1987, Charles Collier and
To,
Harry Wren Fowler were the first winners.
What I'm trying to see is if it closed. It did close below this area. However, on that box, look how it's showing a doji on that box.
Strathclyde Star Marshal.
Showing a doji on that box.
It is the Adamantium, yes. These bonuses are on scientific terms, referring to the total number of carbon atoms in the molecule. What single word name is alternatively given?
I do not even want to look at the one I'll try.
2-methylbutane.
I think the most I want to look at is maybe 30 minutes. See the 15 minute if that makes sense. Maybe 15 minute I could do 5 minute. Nah, stick to the 15 minute. Okay, yeah, that's basically it.
Correct. The large insect class Isoptera,
What I should maybe do is put an arrow.
also known by what common name? Come on, there's only two.
Damselflies.
Oh, they're termites. Right, 10 points for this. The birthplace of Joseph
700.
Louis Lagrange and Primo Levi,
700.
which city on the River Po was the first capital of United Italy and the venue of the Winter Olympics?
Dorica.
Milan.
So what I'll do here,
Anybody want to guess some stats?
Strathclyde Whittle.
Torino.
It is Torino, it's really yes.
I do put about close. I don't want it to always touch it and then giving me notifications. I'll say
Which two major powers at the Ussuri River?
box breakout. Sell.
Okay, India and Pakistan.
There's China and the USSR. In October, Siad Barre led a bloodless coup in which African country in the late 1970s he began the Ogaden War against Ethiopia?
Eritrea.
That's Somalia. Which social democrat became German chancellor in October
Put about
1960?
close.
Billy Brandt.
Billy Brandt is correct. 10 points for this. What term for a type of
Buy.
particle
It's that
accelerator
simple.
also applies to a type of electromagnetic radiation generated by...
Obviously,
Synchrotron.
Correct. You're going to say the bonuses on the topography of Pluto. Giving his name to a large heart-shaped plain or regio on its surface, which US astronomer discovered Pluto in 1930?
yeah, okay, but obviously if I had a bias,
That was Clyde Tombaugh.
my bias would be look at that. It's closed above this. It's closed above this area on a daily. 93.5 is closed above it on the daily. And USA has been strong at the moment. You know, touched this area, came up, broke through this area, and it's closed above it on the daily. It's a very good sign. Very good sign for the US. This is also kind of consolidating, but not really. I'll draw a box maybe over it. But I know this is going to break out 100%. It might fade me like the first time. Oh, by the way, yesterday I lost my trades. It didn't go the way I planned it would go. With GBP USD, I drew that symmetrical triangle and it broke below and then came all the way up. So I took my loss because obviously you have to cut your losses, and then it shot all the way down later on. As for EURUSD, it touched my resistance point. I think it was here or something like that. Yeah, it just kept going down. Yeah, USD was way too strong. And it touched my support zone. So I decided to take the sell. But yeah, risk management is very important. I don't want to be caught on the wrong side of a move. You know what I mean?
Another lockdown, the kids are at home and the pressure's on to keep them learning. Now, unfortunately for me, there's more to the curriculum than just physics. But luckily, the BBC is making education more accessible than ever, with learning for every child, at every age group, every day of the week, online, on iPlayer, and now on TV. Sure. Just go to the BBC website and look for lockdown learning.
Yeah, I gotta watch EURUSD. Could definitely see some sort of I don't want to look at a 5 minute today or the 1 minute. In fact, I definitely don't want to look at a 1 minute. So I'll take that off. 5 minute maybe. But yeah, I think what I've done before, one of my mistakes before was buying before I see any confirmation. I should really wait for the confirmation before I do buying. Just because I see a red candle and they're all going down doesn't mean that I should get it for a buy. But I'm not experienced enough for me to know exactly what the market's going to do.
Be moved by the power of BBC Sounds. Listen on the app.
My job is to get to the truth. Speak for those that can't speak for themselves.
Okay, anyway, let's look at GBP-USD, one of my favourite pairs. It just does what it does. Even though yesterday it messed me over. GBP-USD is a good trade. I like GBP-USD. And then I'll look at AUD-USD in a little bit.
Colombians. No, sorry. Sevens, do you know? Cats on a hot. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, that's not right either. Dog on a hot tin roof. Next
So yeah, let's go to the charts.
Colombians.
So clearly 1.35 is an important
Okay,
level.
now you're gambling. It's not right, Sevens, do you know?
The dog in the hat.
The dog in the hat. Next thing.
But yeah, seriously, I do need to study a lot more.
Colombians. That's right.
There's that list that Andrew made. It's a good list. Let me check that out.
Yes, it is. The next category concludes all words where the letters appear in reverse.
By the way, it's not me watching TV, guys. It's someone else.
Sevens.
Wrong.
Right.
Weekly, so as you can see, that's on the weekly. Cool. On the daily, let's go to the daily.
Just as the bell goes off, you will get the point, but that is the end of the round. And what a magnificently scrappy, gambly last round. I enjoyed it.
1.36. Yeah, there we go.
But the winners
It's a resistance point.
through to the next round with 18 points are the Sevens. Very well done. Polly, means you finished with 17. So close, and you've been a brilliant team and really entertaining. Thank you so much for playing. I'm sorry, it's time to say goodbye.
36. Cool.
And I want to say quite a special goodbye because this might be my last time in the chair. My husband wants me to quit because he says I'm remaining in Quizmaster mode all the time, even at home. Why do you say that? I asked. He said, can you please just stop asking questions? But why does it bother you? I asked, reminding him he only had 2 seconds to answer. Because it's annoying, he said. No, I said, I'm going to need something more specific. It's just weird, he screamed. No, still not enough. I'm going to have to throw it over, I said, turning to my daughter and 2 of
So
her friends
stupid.
who I was making sit at a table covered in Egyptian hieroglyphs. I'm so tired. Goodbye.
Don't know if you guys heard that. That was so ridiculous. Anyway, cool. Drawing this level because 1.37 touched that area. Came down, broke below, touches 1.36 area. Came up, broke below again. So they're all kind of important areas. That's the thing.
Hey Mum, I've got some great news.
I'll get this area as well, just above it, so we know.
You and the rest of the Ranga Nation talking to me and my guests about everything that's been going on.
Okay, cool. It's this delayed the daily.
What I would say is just
I think I see a trend line going
you
on.
won't be coming to the studio.
I've been seeing the trend line for a bit now. I don't know if that's the right trend line.
The host?
The Ranga Nation starts Sunday at 9 on BBC Two at iPlayer.
I've got to be honest and straight up. 2020 was a mess. Feel anxious when I wake up.
Okay. Nah, we can't draw that. Can't draw that. But however, we do see something here. I don't know if that's
Everyone should be equal. At the end of the day, we're all just people.
Times have been hard for us all,
it's clearly going down. US is strong at the moment, very, very strong.
but we're on your side.
But I don't see any patterns at the moment.
Whatever this year brings, we'll face it together. The future's not cancelled.
I mean, I do see this, maybe. It's on the 4 hour.
How a certain TV chef is helping to keep Padstow and the local fishermen busy. This fishing life continues at 9 here on BBC Two after some more quizzing.
Number 1, number 2. Maybe, just maybe. I see this.
Hello, 2 more teams have exchanged their ivory towers for our perfect cubicles as they play for a place in the semi-final stage of this competition. The task ahead of them tonight is to win the first of the 2 victories which we demand for a place in that stage of the competition.
Nah, I feel like that's being forced a little bit.
College London are of course representing the reigning series champions. They lost their first round match by 155 points to the University of Strathclyde's 190, but returned as one of the highest scoring losing teams to beat Exeter University in the playoffs by a mere 5-point margin. The second round finally gave them an opportunity to show more mettle when they beat St Andrews 180 points to 90 with an average age of 20.
I will draw this though.
Let's meet the Imperial team for the 4th time.
Hi, I'm Justin. I'm from Hong Kong and I study maths.
Hi, I'm Katie.
I'll get the mid-levels in too.
This is their captain.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm from North London and I study pure maths.
Hi, I'm Imran. I'm from Petaling Jaya, Malaysia and I study theoretical physics.
Now, the team from the University of Warwick took rather less time to get here, beating Wolfson College Oxford in round 1 by a hearty 255 points to 105, and Merton College Oxford by 190 points to 90, with an average age of 22. Let's meet the Warwick team.
Hi, I'm Richard Pollard. I'm from Cheshire and I'm studying history and politics.
Hello, I'm George Braves. I'm originally from Brighton and I was doing a PhD in physics.
This is their captain.
Hi, I'm Andrew Rao. I'm from Bearston in Kent and I'm studying for a PhD in maths.
Hi, I'm Owen Burrow. I'm from Lancaster and I'm studying for a Masters in English Literature.
125.
Okay.
475.
You'll sleep, so let's get fingers on buzzers and the first start of the 10. Let's get on. What specific word follows jewellery, French and Armenian, in the names of areas of Birmingham, New Orleans?
Warwick Road. Quarter.
Quarter is correct, yes. Right, you get a set of bonuses on the geographical region. Illyria is named in the second scene as the setting for which of Shakespeare's plays in response to Viola's question, what country, friends, is this?
Twelfth Night.
12th Night is correct. In the 1st century AD, the Roman province of Illyricum included Pannonia in the north and which other region in the south? It shares its name with the region of modern-day Croatia.
Dalmatia. Oh yeah, Dalmatia.
Correct. Aside from the small independent kingdom of Ragusa, From 1420 until 1797, much of the Dalmatian coast came under the control of which Italian polity?
Cool, touch there.
Venice is correct.
Look how it touched at mid-level, came down, touched this mid-level, came down, and it's probably going to touch this mid-level again.
Is usually known by what six-letter trademark name?
Imperial Ramen. Kevlar.
That's correct, yes. Your bonuses are on a mathematician.
The thing is, I have to be careful, like, be a bit careful.
Concerns which mathematician born in Budapest in 1913?
Yeah, that sounds like it. Erdos.
Erdos is correct. In 1949, Erdos and Selberg gave
And there's still this area that it wants to reach as well, yeah. Could see it reaching this area here.
To infinity, the number of primes less than or equal to n tends to what ratio?
Is it n over log n or log n over n?
Anyway, I'd have to wait for that one to see what it does. But I could be waiting maybe for a third touch, just to reject this zone. Or maybe it may break through this zone. Who knows?
And finally, quoting a fellow Hungarian, Erdos claimed that a mathematician is a machine for turning water liquid into theorems. Coffee is correct, yes.
See some consolidation going on.
What three letters all begin words with the following meanings? Firstly, a device for keeping a compass horizontal in a moving vessel. Secondly, a small tool for boring holes.
Imperial Marrow.
GYR?
No? I'm afraid you lose 5 points. A small tool for boring holes.
Nothing's happened yet.
Or trade,
I don't mind that 30 minutes, you know, 30 minutes being good to me. Just clean candles, I guess. But yeah, nothing on GBP USD just yet. Just could be looking for a third bounce, maybe.
Right, 10 points for this. Following an exhibition in 1927,
Should I write it down on notes?
Did one critic say, it is as if a pre-Raphaelite had shaken hands with a cubist. The remark referred in particular to his version of the resurrection, depicted as taking place in his hometown in Berkshire.
Imperial Court.
Stanley Spencer?
Correct. We're going to set the bonuses on the US aviator Harriet Quimby. In April 1912, Quimby became the first woman to fly solo over what body of water, although news of the feat was overshadowed by the reporting of the sinking of the Titanic?
I thought Atlantic was...
No, because it could be Linda.
Yeah.
So,
I thought it was waters.
venturing... What do you think?
Sure. But it's a US aviator.
Okay, US aviator, so Gulf of Mexico?
Yeah, sure.
Gulf of Mexico?
No, it was the English
Cool,
Channel.
we got that.
Quimby worked as a journalist and was also
GBP USD. What else? So the next one I want to look at is just GBP or AED or maybe USD CAD as well. Add that in just to see what's going on. But and I seriously do need to backtest. By the way, I've been realizing that I don't need to just backtest from 2011. I can really backtest from as far back as I want. Just got to make sure that I don't trade during the news times, if you know what I mean. So like if I see a red folder, just completely ignore it and don't trade during that time. And then maybe if I want to start trading news, I'll go straight to 2011 September, and in September 2011 I'll start trading news. But I could really start from the start, just do what I want to do, just January, October to December, gold, January to March, Euro USD, and so on and so forth. Start from 2007, 2006, whatever. Just get that practice, and I want to get into the habit of like putting in a lot of trades, you know. Obviously I need to educate myself as well, but I want to put in a lot of trades, get like a good 100 trades on each pair. I just see what my win ratio is like, what kind of patterns each pair brings out, and just see where my overall edge is. Yeah. Anyway, USD. USD CAD. I can see USD CAD is going all the way up. Is that hanging man?
Anything from around there? Pass.
That was Santiago Ramon y Cajal. Finally, which Italian shared the Nobel Prize in Medicine with Cajal in 1906? He gives his name to the cellular organelle that packages proteins into vesicles for transport.
Donkey.
Correct. You're going to make a picture right now. For your picture starter, you're going to see a map of South America with a marker indicating a tri-point. That is, a point where the boundaries of 3 countries meet. The 10 points name all 3 countries, and you must give me your complete answer as soon as your name is called. So for what you're thinking before you buzz, please. Imperial Wong.
Peru, Ecuador, Colombia.
Correct. Following on from the tri-point between Colombia, Ecuador and Peru, your picture bonuses will show 3 more tri-points, and again you need to name all 3 countries that meet at the point indicated. Firstly,
So
Is that Turkey one?
it's too far from Turkey. That's like Afghanistan,
Oh yeah, it's completely.
Afghanistan,
No, Iraq's too far west. So maybe Iran. So it'd be Iran, Afghanistan, and.
No, Iran's one be above it.
Am I forcing? Am I seeing something I want to see?
Iran, Pakistan, and Tajikistan.
no, the missing one is Turkmenistan. It is Afghanistan and Iran, the other 2. Secondly,
That's Niger.
No, this doesn't look like the right kind of.
Burkina Faso.
Yeah, sure.
Burkina Faso, Niger, and Nigeria.
no, that's Algeria, Mali and Niger. And finally,
Bulgaria, Romania, and Bulgaria, Romania, and maybe Serbia.
See this, sorry guys.
Bulgaria, Romania, Serbia.
correct.
But yeah, I'm gonna maybe need to take a little break of trading again and just kind of study a bit more.
Henry L. Stimson served which US president as Secretary of State? The events during his time in office included the London Naval Conference, the Japanese occupation of Manchuria.
Hoover.
Hoover is correct, yes.
The reason I draw that was to cut this off.
On heraldry view, the rule of
But yeah, I'm gonna leave CAD. CAD's confusing me.
should not be placed on metals, nor colours on colours.
AUD USD.
Two metals. You can give the heraldic name or the common name.
Okay, so let's go on to this.
Silver and gold.
Correct.
So we know there's
To conform to the rule, a stripe of
a
the
point
band
here
is
that's
used
important.
to separate 2 colours. For example, in the 6-colour flag of what country adopted in April 1994?
1993. Eritrea, maybe? That's possible. Eritrea?
No, South Africa. Adopted at independence in 1962, which Commonwealth country has a flag that is blazoned
quite consolidated here and then went down. But there's a quote from Swaggy C that said the price will not consolidate at a zone and then shoot up. So that probably must be the same for Euro USD. Price won't consolidate here and then shoot up. It wants to go down. Dojies.
The word appears in the English title of a 1997 Studio Ghibli film about the
It's been hovering around that region for a bit.
Correct.
Anywho, oh, you know what I'm thinking? What we may have. Nah, I don't think that's it.
Located on the river Mert, about
But yeah, this could be a trend line, or it could just break through. One of the 2. But anyway, let's look at AUD USD.
That's Nancy. Nancy is the site of the UNESCO-listed Place Stanislas, named after a deposed king of Poland, who was the father-in-law of which...
I think that's a fake out, if I'm being honest. Let's look at AUD USD.
That was Louis XV. Nancy was the birthplace of a writer whose bequest established an eponymous literary prize first awarded in 1903. What was his surname?
Flaubert?
That was John Gould.
7-2.
10 points for this starter question. In contrast to the XY sex determination system,
It closed below that region.
sex chromosomes of animals such as birds, in which the homogametic sex is male, The same two letters denote the two gauge bosons that together mediate the Greek medium.
Warwick Route, W and Z.
W and Z is correct.
I don't see anything in a moment.
Your bonuses are on inaugural recipients
A lot
of
of
the
consolidation.
Kennedy Center Annual Awards, established in 1978.
It's around here and then it broke below.
From the description, please. Firstly, a singer who gave a landmark concert at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. in 1939. She later became a soloist with the Metropolitan Opera.
Gerald, maybe? Yeah, anything else? Fitzgerald?
That was Marian Anderson. Secondly, one of the 20th century's leading pianists, born in Poland in 1887, he became a US citizen after the Second World War and gives his name to an international piano competition.
Kilo? That was Wittgenstein, sorry. His first name was Paul, so it probably was in Polish. Was he, no, sorry, Wittgenstein.
That was Rubinstein. And finally, a prolific choreographer born in St. Petersburg in 1904. His works include Serenade and Apollo to music by Tchaikovsky and Stravinsky, respectively.
Nijinsky, maybe?
I was thinking Nijinsky.
Is it? Nijinsky?
That's Balanchine. Right, it's time for a music round. For your music start, you'll hear a piece of instrumental music from an opera. 10 points if you can name its composer.
Imperial Con.
Wagner.
Wagner is correct, yes. Well done. The piece you heard was from Tannhauser's opening Bacchanale. For your music bonuses, you're going to hear 3 more classical pieces depicting Bacchanalia, all are by French composers, and all I need is each composer's name for the points. Firstly from an opera.
Oh, okay, the middle zone's 71.
Yeah.
So that means
No, it's right sort of time, but it's Saint-Saëns from Samson and Delilah. Secondly from a ballet.
Oh, this is Daphnis and Chloe, so it's Ravel.
there we go.
That is correct, yes, from Daphnis and Chloe, as you said. And finally from a programmatic work.
And then this is kind of doing the same thing as GBP, USD. Kind of like, it's kind of like a trend line going on down here.
Poet wrote these lines. When old age shall this generation waste, thou shalt remain in midst of other woe.
Warwick Bray.
Keats. Keats is correct.
I need to figure out trend lines, see what's going on here.
In an Argand diagram of the complex plane, what shape is traced out by the parametric curve z of t equals
You make
t
it a little bit bigger.
times e to the power I t, as t increases from 0.
Probably like a spiral. A spiral?
Archimedean spiral, yes. A Cornu spiral can be used in physics to find the intensity distribution of light following which near-field optical effect, named after a French scientist.
What's the diffraction?
Fresnel. French one.
Yeah, Fresnel diffraction.
Yeah.
Fresnel diffraction.
Correct. Spiral scroll-like ornaments known as volutes are a characteristic
So
feature
like
of
1,
columns first seen in which order of classical architecture?
Which one? Doric.
2.
I would say that maybe, but maybe it's Doric.
Any thoughts?
For less than Doric.
Ionian.
Yes, or ionic.
Yeah, same thing, same thing.
With a specific name here, with the binomial
Same exact thing.
Zerda. Which animal native to the Sahara is the world's smallest species?
Warwick Burrow.
Fennec Fox.
Fennec fox is correct, yes. Right, a set of bonuses on a religious term. Meaning 3 baskets, the word Tripitaka is a traditional term for the written teachings of which major religion?
Okay, so it's in Journey to the West, which probably means it's Buddhism, because I think they're Buddhist monks going to the West. Buddhism.
Buddhism is correct. Tripitaka is a leading character in the Ming Dynasty novel The Journey to the West. What single word title is often given to the word? For example, in Arthur Waley's translation.
Main character is the
Okay, cool. So we have that.
monkey.
Monkey is correct. Tripitaka
on the 4 hour, got that on the...
Xuanzang, who travelled to India in the early years of which dynasty?
I want to say it's the Tang dynasty, but I'm not entirely convinced. You're going to know more than we are. Okay, the Tang dynasty.
Tang dynasty is correct. 10 points for this. Which explorer led the small team of Hansen, Hassel, Bjaaland and Wisting that in 1911 became the first to reach the South Pole?
Warwick Pollard.
Roald Amundsen.
Roald Amundsen is correct.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, by the way. I should pull this to the mid-level here. And then this is actually a resistance point in itself.
Anything? Contract or something? Yeah. No. Contract.
It's Frolic. Dr. Frolic is a poem of the 1975 collection Sadness and Happiness by which writer? He became the first poet laureate in 1997.
So there we go. As we can see that. Let's get rid of all of this. No, we don't. Okay, we don't need to get rid of all of it. But
featuring a tuba and mandolins, Frolic by Luciano Michelini is the theme for which cult comedy series first shown in 2000. It stars a co-creator of Seinfeld.
I'm
not certain, but I can't think of it.
Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Correct. Then points for this. Answer as soon as your name is called. How many watts of power are dissipated in a resistor of 7 ohms if the potential difference between its ends is 7 volts?
Warwick Braid. 7.
7 is correct, yes.
so yeah, cool. Anyway, so I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end this recording and pause this. I'm gonna end the recording and pause the video. So yeah, that's my analysis right now. So I just believe EuroUSD is gonna break the box. So it's just gonna be a box breakout consolidation. I love box breakouts. I'm good at them. EuroUSD, I haven't tried this strategy too much before, but this is like a trend line kind of strategy. So either there's two things it could either do. It could go up to the mid level and break through this. But because of how strong USD is, I doubt that will happen. What I think may happen is it may break below this 1.36 level. Yeah, so that's what I see at the moment. There's some consolidation going on as well. Kind of. Yeah. So I'll just watch that on a 50-minute. AUD/USD, same thing. Same thing. Yeah, just watch these trades basically. But yeah, I'll be back later and we'll see what trades we can take. Anyway, that is me out at the moment. Okay, I'll see you guys in a bit.